Good morning. It is 9:32 a.m. on Friday, December 29th, 2017. I'm Christiana Ellis and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. How are you guys doing? I'm down to just the last lingering little bits of my cold, feeling a lot better, which is great. Although uh, I this week I've certainly not been super productive this week. It has been a week of indulging in every type of mental comfort food. And to some extent, that's partly because I'm taking care of Luna and on vacation just generally and that sort of thing. And it's been a stressful year. But, you know, so to some extent, I feel like I'm allowed. I don't feel too hard on myself. But I've not been super productive. Like yesterday, played a bunch more Stardew Valley, watched a bunch more Great British Baking Show. Um, and it's interesting, the more of that I watch, the more it seems like early in the season is the only time that I really have the problem with the anxiety I was feeling, in the sense that once every baker on the show has had the opportunity to do at least one good one, my brain kind of relaxes that worry. So, and it's very sweet. The show features good food and happy people working hard to do something nice. And like even when like they do have to say goodbye to someone, they all hug them. They all hug and say, "Oh, we're so sorry to see you go," and they say nice things. And I feel like I'm tearing up as I describe it right now, just because it's so adorable. Like I have increasingly been cooking more since I've been doing the Blue Apron stuff, but that hasn't involved a lot of baking, and so I don't have any particular investment in baking. But the show is just so wholesome and sweet. It's lovely, is what it is. And then Stardew Valley, likewise, is just this very sort of calming thing, And so I've had a good week where I haven't accomplished a lot, but I have nonetheless had a lot of good relaxation, which is good. And I keep looking down because Luna's right there. I can show you. Hey, puppy, how are you doing? Oops, it's hard to aim the camera this way. So you can see Luna's still got kind of a reverse mohawk from her incision. But the incision site is healing very well. As soon as the hair grows back, you probably won't even notice anything at all. Um, and we're doing great with her physical therapy. She's getting stronger every day. She's able to go longer between trips outside. We're still dealing with some behavioral weirdness around bedtime, and I'm not sure what that's about, but hopefully that will sort itself out as well. And so, it's been a good vacation so far. And yeah, so, almost every day this week I've kind of told myself, well, maybe today will be the day I'll go outside. I need to make a grocery store run. And I was going to see Last Jedi a second time. There's a few other movies I wouldn't mind seeing, but I can also just stay here in my PJs and play more Stardew Valley and watch more Great British Baking Show. Decisions. The other thing I was going to mention is that I met one of my neighbors, who I hadn't ever really talked to. Her name is Charlotte. And so here's the thing. I showed you guys, or I maybe just tweeted pictures of this little wagon that I had made for Luna to take her outside. But one of the things I had always been a little bit self-conscious about is how rumbly the wheels were going down the long hallway, and just concern about how that's kind of loud, especially when I'm doing it in the middle of the night or something. I was a little worried about that, but I wasn't really sure what to do about it. I had thought about, like I could get something else that would have bigger wheels and not be as much of a problem, but it's this dilemma of like, well, but how long am I going to need it? Am I going to buy something and then just have to have it, once I don't know, but in any event, I met Charlotte just as I was coming down the hallway because she stepped out basically to finally see what that noise she had been hearing was. And initially I had a little bit of anxiety that she was going to be mad about the noise, and I think she was, you know, disturbed by it. But at the same time, as soon as I kind of told her what it was and what was going on, she was just immediately, a fan of Luna and felt, bad that she was going through this stuff. And then she, told me I was taking good care of her. And then the next morning, she shows up with a big furniture moving dolly with a laundry basket twined to it, saying maybe this will help. And sure enough, it works just as well, but it has got bigger wheels that are more stable, and so it's a lot quieter. And so she just loaned this thing to me. She made it and loaned it to me so that I could take Luna out without being so noisy. And it's a win-win for everybody. And now I have a neighbor who's a friend, and isn't that great? So anyway, uh, I'll leave it there, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow for 5 more minutes.